Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about this expansion board. We're calling this a motor driver board. And this particular one, I just got it in the mail. It's called Robotbit. We've used it before, but I found these really low cost online. I want to tell you about that. We're using them like on this car to drive motors, and you can see we can drive 4 motors, one for each wheel, and these are DC motors. And then we can drive up to 8 servo motors with this one board. This board comes with a slot for the microbit and a battery bay for rechargeable battery. And this has a port right here, not for coding the microbit, but for recharging this battery. Notice these batteries come in different lengths. This is called the 18,650 battery, and this one is too long to fit in the battery bay. It can be forced in, but it's really too long. This one, basically the same battery, it's just a little bit shorter. When I found these online, they do not come with the battery or the microbit. What is a motor driver? A motor driver is something that can take signals from the microbit and convert them using additional power to make motors run, which otherwise the microbit alone cannot do. Microbit can do all kinds of things, sensing and outputs, but it cannot run motors directly. You've got to plug it into a motor driver board. Now here's something we call an Arduino brand or Arduino type of motor driver. People will recognize this if they've ever worked with Arduino, a different coding environment than microbit, than MakeCode. But this is the same thing as this, only this is used in addition to some kind of an expansion board and with several different coding environments. Again, it can run motors. All right, here's where I found this board, and it's only $8.82. Well, here it says there's shipping of $7. So now you're up to $16. And there may be some additional fees on Alibaba. And the price goes down as you buy more of them. Here is the KittenBot product for $19.90. And shipping is calculated when you order it. This is coming from actual KittenBot company that has designed the board. Their brand name board is, as far as I can tell, no different than this board. And this one I got from Alibaba. And then here it is again from AliExpress. $10.35. It would be cheaper if you buy more than one, and you've got shipping of $5.18. So that gives you an idea of what the range of these boards are, not including the rechargeable battery from many different sources. 18,650 is what it's called. It's best if you find one. If it gives measurements, and you can measure this in millimeters, it's best if you find batteries that are that size rather than this length. This length is just slightly longer, and it does not fit real well in this battery holder. You'd have to modify this by pinching these leads or cutting them off so that this fits more correctly. The microbit expansion board has an extension under MakeCode called Robotbit. There are some really nice things about this Robotbit. These are all of your blocks in the extension. And you can see that it includes a stepper motor. So there are motors that are different than wheel motors, like these, and different than servo motors that are positional. There are stepper motors which can go to very small increments. There's a lot that can be learned from having one of these boards and hooking up your different outputs or sensors and using this microbit. When I installed Robotbit into the MakeCode program, it also installed modules, which is another Module Plus, which is another series of products that KittenBot makes. There's a lot that you can learn from that. It looks like it's got even more. This would be with educational kits that KittenBot company makes. So that is this company. And you look under products and you probably can find all kinds of educational kits. And many of them can work with this particular motor. I'm just trying to show you different sources that may be less costly for you when you buy an expansion board that can drive motors. Also notice that we've got this green block is a power input. Besides the battery, we can run additional power here. Also, I wanted to mention these boards have large circles at the corner, large openings. That is designed for Lego system. You can see that I've got some little plastic connectors that snap into these Lego base plate studs. And the distance between these holes matches the Lego form factor. So you'll have Lego Technic's parts and Lego bricks also that are designed to fit the form of these hole distances. These smaller holes can be used for bolts, just to bolt this expansion board onto something like some kind of bracket or whatever you want to use, but the corner holes are important anytime you're looking at a motor driver for the microbit or for using with Lego Technics. And you'll see that you do not have the same size holes here. They're different size. So this can be bolted, but you can use Lego Technics pins to snap the pieces together. There will be more about all this